Good God, I didn't think I'd have to say this. I really didn't. And not that anybody gives a shit, but I just actually had to. I just unsubscribed to a guy I used to follow, and it wasn't even a political channel. It wasn't nothing. It was just. It was a gaming channel. It was for my sake, pure entertainment. This is really funny. I unsubscribed to it. He put out a video talking about this whole thing with the whole George Floyd thing. How the response has been a legitimate response to systemic racism. I'm like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? That's it. I'm done. Look, whatever George Floyd did to get arrested is irrelevant at this point. The man was murdered by a cop. And on the same token, what his race is equally irrelevant. He was murdered. A citizen was murdered by a police officer whose job is to serve and protect. So for everybody out there who's taking this and making it about race, which by the way, I'm going to say this straight up. This whole riots and stuff, this isn't about George Floyd anymore. This is not about that. There's even people in Minneapolis, black people, that are pissed because their town is being destroyed by crazy people. You don't need an excuse to go burn down a building or fucking loot a store. If you thought that that's an appropriate response, you didn't need an excuse. You're a fucking thug, and that's all there is to it. And there's white people who do that dumb shit too. See, and this is my thing. People talk about equality and this, that, and that. I'm going to tell you my version of equality right now. My version of equality, everybody in this world is equally as good or as much of a piece of shit as everybody else. There has been white serial killers, black serial killers. There has been white fucking priests and black priests. And you can go good or bad on that, depending on how you feel about it. I'm not going to get into that. There's good white people, there's good black people, there's good Hispanic people, there's good Asian people, but there's also bad people from all those different demographics too. Race doesn't mean shit. I was just watching a video where they were interviewing some people on the street. And they're talking about, just wait till we come to the suburbs. Come to the suburbs. There's going to be a lot more dead. Either way, either the people that live in the suburbs or the people attacking. People are going to die. For why? Because of racism? No, it's because you're a thug asshat. That's what it is. You are a thug and you just want to go around starting shit. But you've got justification now because of George Floyd. Poor man. I feel so bad for him and his family. I really do. Not only was he murdered by a cop, which is, being murdered already that's a horrible thing. I think everybody can agree to that. But being murdered by somebody that's supposed to be protective of you, that's supposed to do everything in their power to protect you, that's even worse. And everybody is using that death as an excuse to just cause utter chaos. What? I'm almost speechless as to why this happens or to how this happens. You can say anything you want to say about George Floyd, and God rest his soul. I swear to God. And I hope the man that did what he did gets stomped into the fucking dirt. I hope so. I don't believe he needs to be killed for it. I don't believe he deserves a death penalty. But he definitely deserves to be driven into the goddamn ground. And I hope he gets I really just hope he gets fucking. They hit him with everything they can. I really do. But honestly, if you thought that the appropriate response to George Floyd's death was loot, pillage, commit arson, battery, because people have been beat. They're beat. They. Oh my God! They attacked a woman in a wheelchair. So, well, she had a knife. Okay, so what you're telling me is she just came out in the streets in a wheelchair with a knife. There was nothing else that happened. No, people were attacking her to begin with and trying to get her purse. So yeah, she pulled out a knife, tried to defend herself. And then they hit her with they sprayed her with a fire extinguisher. If you're doing that, it wasn't George Floyd that made the George Floyd murder that made you do it. You're a piece of shit, and you know it. I don't care who you are. If you're black, white, Asian, Hispanic, Indian, of Arabic descent from the Middle East, whatever, it doesn't matter who you are, where you're from. If you think that the correct response to this kind of incident is to do this kind of stuff, is to go nuts and start a riot, start looting and burning the town, and then start threatening that you're going to go to the suburbs too, you're a piece of shit. I'm sorry, there's no other way to put it. You're a piece of shit. And the next person that needs to be shot is you. Because it shows us where your priorities lie. Your priorities lie with your own selfish means. You want to steal the big TV. You want to steal shit. You don't want to pay for shit. There's fucking video footage of people driving around talking about we can kill white people. This has turned into a huge race thing because, I don't know, you tell me. I know it was a white cop that killed a black guy. I'm not saying racism in some way wasn't involved. Fine. But your response has been utter chaotic vitriol against white people. And you know what? The people that are suffering are black people. There was a dude who fucking built up a damn... I don't remember what his business was. I think it was some kind of I think it was like a bar or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, but he had built this up. This was his establishment. It was a black dude and his family. Not only did they bust into the place once and tear the place apart and steal a bunch of shit, but as he was trying to clean up his place, they came back. And now they want to take his safe. This isn't about race. Race is a freaking red herring in this one. Race is an excuse. George Floyd's murder is an excuse for you to be a piece of shit thug. I'm sorry, every one of you fuckers needs to be in prison. Every one of you. If you do not have the ability to handle bad things happening without going crazy and tearing up your town, you don't need to be. You are a menace to the public. You are a menace to society. You are a danger to society. You know what they usually do to people who are a danger to a society? They put them in prison. You don't deserve to go free. And what's worse is, though, I guarantee, if anybody is arrested because of this, there's going to be a lot of backlash talking about racism. They were arrested because they're black. I guarantee it. They're going to play that race card. They're going to play it until they're in the ground. They're going to play it. You want to stop racism? Okay, cool. Here's how we do it. You find someone being a racist piece of shit, you beat the fuck out of that one racist piece of shit. You don't walk around and assume that everybody's racist. White cop killed a black man. Okay, so let's burn down the city and then threaten to kill all the white people. How does that help? Where's the sense? Where's the logic? There is none. It's a lie. And everybody that sits there and tries to claim that it's undercover police officers that are go around setting the fires, it's cops going around trying to burn down these businesses just so they can frame the black people, you're full of shit too. And you know you're full of shit. You're outright lying. You're trying to fucking stoke those fires even more. You're a lying piece of shit and you know it. And if CNN's upset about getting housed by the cops and getting threatened with arrest, if you're out in the middle of this place and they tell you to get the fuck out of there, you need to get the fuck out of there. Period. At this point, it's not a good idea to start playing First Amendment rules. CNN, you've been reporting bullshit for the last 3 years. Complete and utter bullshit for the last 3 years. Why would you start trying to be honest about anything now? Just get away from it. Nobody wants to listen to you. How are their ratings still even worth a shit? Anyways, look, I'll go ahead and reiterate before I end this. If you are burning down your city, you're looting, you're rioting, you're smashing up the entire city, you're hurting people in the name of equality, or at least that's if that's your reasoning. If you're doing it at all, you're a piece of shit. If you're doing it because of racism, you're an even bigger piece of shit because you're lying. If you're a cop that beats on people, that beats people to a bloody pulp, or kills somebody, God forbid, if you're a cop that does that, you're a piece of shit. Somebody should have just shot the cop. I'm sorry. That should have been the response. Either have gotten his ass whooped or gotten shot right then and there. That would have been justice. It would have been fair. I believe in our legal system. I do, or at least I really want to. I'll say that much. I want to believe in our legal system. But I sometimes think, I feel sometimes that kind of justice is warranted and it's needed. If you're one of these people walking around screaming kill white people because of a white cop killed a black guy, you're a piece of shit. And somebody needs to come up against your head with a fucking baseball bat. Hopefully knock some sense into your dumb ass. Every one of you fuckers up there is stupid. Every one of you fuckers that are up there tearing your city apart. That's your city. Stupid. Fucking dumb motherfuckers. Everybody wants to be a thug. Everybody wants to tear shit up. All they want to do is try to find a reason and be a thug. And they want to go out and destroy shit. You ain't gangster, you ain't cool, you ain't nothing. Because you destroyed your city. What you are is a fucking criminal. Every one of you assholes that's a looting target, white people, black people, Hispanic people, I've seen all three demographics. I don't know if I've seen any Asian people, or Middle Eastern, or Indian people, whatever. I don't think I've seen them. Definitely white, black, and Hispanic. I've seen all three of them. If you're one of these people who's looting the fucking Target, who had nothing to do with anything, none of these businesses had anything to do with anything. If you're one of those people, you're a fucking criminal. You're a piece of shit, and you need to go to prison. You do not deserve to breathe free air. I'm sorry. That's it. All right, that's all I got. I'm fucking pissed about this. The entire situation is fucked. Message to the justice system. Take that cop and fucking throw him in a hole. Throw him in a cage, lock the door, don't let him out, ever. I don't care. He fucked up. He did something fucked up. Everybody knows it. You need to take responsibility for that. Everybody else that's out there looting and rioting and going nuts, though you're probably too busy burning down your own local fucking restaurants and stuff to be watching me, but stop being a piece of shit. Why don't you try to put things back together? Why don't you try to do things the right way for once? Anyway, that's all I got. See ya.